What's up, everybody? This is A Force of Nature, Spiritual Awakening, and today we will be discussing Venus squared Saturn in the natal birth chart. This is a natal aspect that you may or may not have in your natal birth chart, but even if you don't have it, you might know somebody who does. So that's just what that is. So now Venus, we're going to break that down. What is Venus and what is Venus all about? Venus is about love. It's about beauty, peace, harmony, tranquility, and creativity. Venus is about your love nature, the way that you express love, the way that you give love, and the way that you receive it in return. So now we're going to also break down what Saturn is about. But before we do that, Venus also does represent luxury. Okay, like we said, it represents beauty. So it is going to be like how you want to dress, how you want to look, smelling good, looking good out into the world. This is Venus. Moving back into Saturn. So now Saturn is about restriction, limitations, discipline, order, control. Saturn is about delaying things to you until later on in life. Once you fully understand and understood and grasp life lessons that happened in your past life, because Saturn also represents your past life karma, things that went on and took place that you also do bring into this life, okay, that you have to tackle it on and deal with in this physical life right now. So now, of course, with this square, okay, the square is going to really complicate things as far as this aspects go. We're going to get into that in just a second. Another thing with Saturn is about life lessons. So wherever Saturn is being placed, after your Saturn returns, which is about the age of 28 to 30, this is going to be a little bit easier for you to manage and deal with. But before that, it's going to be trials and tribulations, obstacles in your way, and blockages that's really holding you back to fully understand what is going on here. Okay, now if this was in a natal birth chart, that's definitely going to show you the area in life that you're going to be able to master. All right, as far as the houses. But if it's in a specific sign, that's going to be a sign that you will also be able to master. Okay, now, but when it comes down to the natal aspect, this is themes that will go on throughout your whole entire life until you finally recognize it, deal with it, and tackle it on so that it no longer is an issue for you. Okay, so anytime you see a square in between two signs, that's definitely going to mean that these planets are in signs that are not getting along. They're not meshing very well. There is a conflict going on here. If you see it in opposition, the opposition means that these two planets are in opposite signs of one another, so they are bumping the heads because they're looking at things from an opposite standpoint. And if you see a conjunction, that means that these two planets are in the same exact sign. So at times, it's going to be okay, and other times it's not. So it is like a kind of like you're trying to balance it out. And anytime you see a sectle or you see a trine, that is going to mean that in your past life you perfected this, you did very well. But now you are still being presented with this aspect once again. So these themes are going to go on and take place. But because you have the sectle and trine, this is going to indicate that you are going to move very well in it. You're going to, even though these themes and these problems arise, you're going to know how to handle it. It's not going to be hard, unbearable, and hard for you to figure out. So we're going to jump into this right now. Venus squaring Saturn, men and women. So now these men and women have a difficulty in expressing their true emotions. Okay, this is something that they really deal with on a every single damn day basis. They have a difficulty with expressing their true, undeniable emotions. The biggest challenge with this aspect will be in your personal relationships. So now you may have a serious and reasonable personality, but this can cause you to become involved in relationships based around security or duty rather than love. So, what these men and women tend to do a lot of times is get involved in partnerships, serious committed relationships, and it's really not based off of love. It's not based off of unconditional love. What they are doing is seeking out the security and feeling like they have to be dutiful, okay? Responsibility, making sure things is okay, making sure things is good, things is in place, things is intact. And on top of that, the security. They can definitely get in relationships for security. Okay, I know that I'm gonna have a home cooked meal. I know that things are gonna be provided for me. These are things that can go on and take place. So when they are entering a relationship, a lot of times it doesn't have to be based off of love. Okay, because for them, love can come later on. For them in it, they can grow to love you. This can definitely go on and take place with these men and women. Okay, learning to love yourself is one of the keys to better your relationships. Perhaps as a child, you were not given the love you felt you needed or deserved. It may have been materially comfortable and secure. However, this becomes your source of identification on what you should be. Now, early on in life, these men and women were placed in a home where it could have been a very good family life as far as things being provided for them. Once again, things being there, clothes on their back, food in their stomach, a roof over their head. Okay, but now when it comes down to the emotional depth, the emotional level, this was not being presented to them. And this can go for their mother, it can go for their father, either or. But in the home, it was not a lot of feeling like you're being loved, feeling like you're being encouraged, feeling like you're even being recognized or even heard. And because of this, these men and women find it very hard, very difficult to be able to pull these emotions out and express them out to others in the proper kind of way. Now, due to painful separations in your early life, you are very cautious about becoming close to people and sharing your feelings. So, this definitely could have been a loss that went on and took place in their life, as far as it could have been a death. Somebody could have died in their family when they were very young or at some point in their life. Okay, but we know specifically that this is talking about early on. Somebody could have passed away, somebody could have died, somebody could have been suffering. They could have seen somebody suffering from anything, an addiction, a disease, even just maybe they just passed away and they just passed away in their sleep. All of these things could have took place. But on top of a painful situation, a painful separation, it doesn't have to always mean that the person actually died. It could have been that they had to live with somebody else for quite some time. Okay, they wasn't in the home with their parent. Okay, and this can also interpret be interpreted in a way that the love was not being there. It wasn't being presented in the proper way. So now you can crave love and affection. Intimacy is difficult for you. All right, so now these men and women do want that kind of shit. They want intimacy. They want affection, love and affection. Okay, but intimacy is a difficulty for them to be completely vulnerable in that kind of way. It's something that they feel like they cannot allow themselves to come to the realization to do. All right, this pattern and vicious cycle needs to be transformed into one where emotions and vulnerability, what you seek from your relationships. Okay, as I just said, they want this. Okay, they want to be able to bond and make these long lasting bonds. And a lot of times with displacement, they do have bonds and long lasting ones. Okay, but as far as the emotional state and understanding their emotions is the deepest issue and problem. So what happens with this is, if you cannot pinpoint your own emotions and know how to deal with them, when somebody else is going through their emotional times, it's going to be very hard for you to even get to understand the other person's emotions, because you can't even understand your own. All right. So now, in order to do this, more work has to be done on expressing yourself and not repressing your emotions, or you hiding your true feelings from other people. Okay, these men and women have to tackle it on and really figure out where is all of these deep rooted emotions coming from? Where are they stemming from? Okay, and as I said previously in the video, it's definitely coming from things that happened early on in life. The way that they saw things play out was very disturbing to them, and it did something to their psyche, and it did something to their psychological mind that really makes them not want to really get close. And they want to get close, but it's hard for them to open up on the emotional level. Okay, but that is what true love is really about. When you are opening up, expressing how you feel, they have a blockage between this. They find it difficult to do that because they do not want to be hurt again. They do not want to be vulnerable. They don't want to be vulnerable and acceptable to them getting their fucking damn feelings hurt once again. They don't want to be disappointed. Another thing with this placement, the more you are able to be more open with your emotions, with yourself and others, the more success you will have within relationships. Learn to loosen up and relax. Okay? These men and women can be kind of very stern, very serious, especially when they're in a committed relationship. They want their relationships with their partners to be a certain kind of way, and they want it to go a certain kind of way. All right. But like it says, okay, if you just fully loosen up and relax, okay, this will definitely allow you to be able to express whatever's going on inside of you in a more effective kind of way. You may be oversensitive to rejection, and try to gain some perspective when you feel your love is not being returned, okay, to your satisfaction. So these men and women can be overly sensitive to when people are not showing up in a certain kind of way. They do fear rejection, okay, and this can definitely be a lack of satisfaction for them in their partnerships and in their relationships. Okay, Saturn often gets better with age, experience, and practice. So these men and women do need to just take some time out to really deal with whatever issues went on in their life early on in childhood. Really find that outlet to open up and discuss with somebody what is going on, how they're really feeling on the deepest level, what made them feel the way that they felt. Okay, and even though it may have been hard in your childhood to express certain things and fully open up, because you could have been very well feeling like you was going to be shunned, feeling like you was going to be dismissed, or what you said didn't matter, or what you said wasn't even being heard. Okay, that is a form of rejection, and you can definitely bring this fucking damn thing on into your intimate relationships. But what happens in your intimate relationships is going to be a little bit more different than what it was when you were a child and you're dealing with parents. Okay, so now when you are in relationships, whether you are a woman or a man, okay, you do still seek out something in a relationship. You seek out loyalty, you seek out trust, you seek out honesty. You want things to be that kind of way. And if these things are not that way, you are not going to be satisfied in a relationship. You are going to constantly nag your partner in a sense, in a way that this is what you want and this is what you wanted and this is what you demand, because Saturn is in play here with Venus. Okay, you can be very demanding, you can be very orderly, you can even feel very much traditional and want things to go in a traditional way, in a traditional sense. And this is what these men and women want. They want that traditional kind of love, they want that unconditional kind of love. But the thing is this, that with them, they have to loosen up and relax and be able to express when they are feeling a certain kind of way. Now, don't get me wrong. Will they tell you things that bother them? Yeah. Will they tell you things that they don't like? Yes, they will. But will they tell you how they feel on a deepest level? No. They're not going to do it because they don't feel comfortable, and they don't want to do it because they fear rejection. And because they fear rejection, they are not going to allow themselves to be vulnerable to you trying to even dismiss their fucking feelings, because that's going to make them mad. And this is what's going to take these men and women to a higher octave and a whole different level, a whole different kind of storm that you don't even want to fuck with, and you need to fall the fuck back. And this is what they don't fucking want, and that's why it's hard for them to be completely on that intimacy level, because when you get into that arena, you are now opening the door for all different other things that come to you, to let you down, to make you disappointed, and they don't want that. So what they do need to do is just get that alone time to think, regroup, and really figure out what it is that they feel, and allow themselves to really go through the motions to really uncover what it is. Because a lot of people with this probably don't even know where the fuck this repression and these deep rooted issues are coming from, but they're coming from early childhood. And you need to understand that, acknowledge it, embrace it, deal with it, so that your relationships can be more better, and being blossomed in a certain kind of light where it can be strong and even more solid. Okay, what I do notice with this place, with these people do have relationships that are solid relationships. Okay, but the way that they express their emotions at times are not in the best kind of ways, and it's because they're not dealing with their own shit within inside themselves. And anytime you need answers on what and why, you don't have to look outside of yourself. You can look inside yourself for whatever the fuck it is that you need to know. So you need to dive deep within. Okay, fuck what the fuck is out there. Ain't a damn thing out there gonna figure out what's in here. And that's what you men and women need to know. So please be sure to check out my online store. It is Grimy Gear at www.grimygear.com. If you need a caterer, I am the chef goddess also, and you can hit me up at Supreme Royale Catering at gmail.com. If you need my husband to do any works to your home, swimming pool, or business, you can hit him up at AronNesbitt90 at gmail.com. If you need a birth chart to be analyzed so you can fully understand and grasp, that will be $50 for 2 hours. If you need a synastry chart, that will be $70 for 2 hours. And if you need a tarot card reading on love, relationships, career, finances, health, or spirituality, or even the past, present, and future, that will be $30. So this has been A Force of Nature, Spiritual Awakening. Love is love. Peace and blessings to you all. And I will see you on the next one.